Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the 25 Days of Linux. We are back on BSPWM for one final video because I forgot to do something kind of important, and that is notifications. Like I've said a million times, BSPWM is super minimal. Actually, it's probably the most minimal window manager I've ever used. Doesn't come with a bar, doesn't come with a way to handle keyboard shortcuts, anything like that. And actually, that's pretty freaking awesome. But of course, the one thing I did notice that I just mentioned was there's no notifications. That's sort of important. Not as important as you would think. I don't mind not having anything notify me, but probably a good idea to set it up. So let's go ahead and do that. Couple of different ways you could do that, probably. The only one that I know of is an app called Dunst, so that's what we're going to use. And just to be clear, this isn't like a super in-depth video about Dunst. That's probably obvious if you're used to my channel at all. There's a lot you can do with this app. You can pull in your own icons and that kind of thing. I'm not really going to do much of that. If you're looking for a really, really good video about Dunst, my boy on YouTube, the Linux Cast, has, I believe, a pretty good video about that. Look at that. That motherfucker done passed me in the sub counts. I don't know if I want to share his channel anymore. No, it's cool. It's a great video. This one right here, how to theme Dunst notifications. I haven't watched it yet, but I know this guy's channel probably great. So I'll go ahead and link it in the old description or in a card, probably right here. And you can watch that if you want something like really in depth. But we're going to go ahead and try to get this set up. I'm sure it's in Pacman. So we'll try to do, let's do pacman-ss and search for Dunst. Yep, there it is right there. So sudo pacman-s and install Dunst. Why do I keep typing Dunsty? I do not know. You know what? Probably need to go ahead and update the old system here. I forget to do that, and sometimes that breaks things. Okay, and now sudo pacman-s Dunst. Hit the wrong button there. There we go. And I don't really know what's happening here. I think maybe if we just run Dunst, it might bring up a sample notification. Or maybe it needs to be running in the background. That's probably true. We'll go ahead and just kill Dunst over here, start it up again over here. What you would probably need to do actually is come into your config for, I'm assuming BSPWM, but for whatever window manager you're using, and like add Dunst as an auto start application. So like run Dunst and that would have it just like auto start with the window manager and always be running. But let's go into the config and see if it created Dunst config. It doesn't look like it did, so we probably need to make one. So let's hop over to the GitHub page real quick. Let's get a config. That's probably always a good place to start, and they probably have a config in here. So there we go, Dunst RC, that's probably what we're looking for. And there it is right there. We'll just view the role. Then what we could do is maybe cd into config, make a directory called Dunst, cd into that new directory, make a new file, Dunst RC, drop all that in, dd, exit, and I don't know, let's maybe try to send a notification. I'll open up Spotify. I know that sends notifications, and if I play a song, damn it. And hey, look at that, we do have notifications. They are quite small, but that's okay. We'll just use that to sort of sample the notifications. Let's go ahead and open up that Dunst RC and try and make some changes. So let's see, right here at the top, it's asking us what monitor to display on, but there's also this thing that says follow. And it looks like we can have it follow the keyboard or the mouse, which I suppose I would want it to follow the mouse. That would make the most sense. I somehow managed to break my entire microphone or webcam. I don't think that's a Linux issue, to be clear. I think that is just a consequence of buying the cheapest freaking webcam that was available at Walmart. Hunk of freaking garbage. There we go. Get out of there. If anyone's interested, I am now selling a lightly used webcam on eBay, like new condition. Anyways, we got the phone recording now, which is probably fine because it looks way better anyways. I don't know why I wasn't using that to begin with. But the follow mouse thing is working. And now down here in this geometry section, it looks like we could set the position really easily if we wanted to. If we wanted to say, throw it into the bottom right. I mean, I'm sure it's kind of this setting that you would kind of expect, but if we go ahead and give it a shot, look at that, notifications down there. What I really want to do is just actually make the text size a bit bigger. Maybe let's search for font, and it's set to monospace 8. I think we could do a little better than that. So let's do maybe product sans, and we'll set it to 25. And then come over here, kill Dunst, restart it, and send ourselves another notification. Okay, cool. So things are working. The text is much bigger. Let's see if we can maybe make that image that Spotify sends a bit bigger as well too. Icon is maybe what it would be sent as. Min icon size 0. Scale small icons up to the size, set 0 to disable, help, let's try minimum icon size 10 or something, I don't know. Okay, let's try 50. It has not changed size at all, so clearly that icon size isn't what we were looking for. Min icon size 0, max icon size, we'll set the max icon size to 64. Maybe that would change it actually. Oh, okay, cool, so it did. So let's try, how about, we'll do 164, which arguably might end up being too big, but go ahead and kill, run it again. Max width was set to 300, but a max icon size is set to 164, too large to use, setting max icon size 150. Okay, so 150. Try that again. By the way, this over here, I wasn't sure if it was super obvious. I don't know if it made the font big enough or not, but I'm literally just killing and rerunning Dunst here rather than starting with BSPWM, because I thought that would make it slightly easier. This is giving me little messages every once in a while, like, hey, you screwed something up, and that's very handy. That's one of the reasons to do that, is because it'll print like debugging messages straight into the console. But if we go ahead and skip now, we've got a pretty good little deal here. I'm just going to want to make the width a bit bigger. So we could try maybe set it to 600 instead. Give that a shot. And hey, look at that. That's a good looking notification. Pretty solid. I'm just going to want to do a few more things here. Maybe let's find the border. Oh, it's not giving me a border option. Maybe let's just scroll through here and see the options we can set. First of all, I'm going to throw it back into the top right. I don't know what scale factor is. Would it have been way easier to just like set scale factor to 2 and then do this since I'm using a high res monitor? It would have definitely been way easier to do that. Yep, that's helpful. So what I could do is set all of the fonts back to a sort of normal size and set the icon back to a normal size as well. Let's say maybe 80. That sounds normal. And then since I have the scale factor set to 2, it'll just sort of literally adjust it for high DPI monitors. It looks like is what's happening. So now if I do that, I have a pretty normal looking notification. I'll just need to change the width back to 300. And for some reason it did not scale up the font. So I might set that back to like 20 or something. But now that looks pretty good. That's nice. A lot of Linux apps don't play very well with high DPI stuff, 4K monitors and whatnot. So that's pretty nice. One other thing that I might want to do is reposition it a little bit, just because it was sort of encroaching on polybar territory up there, which I can't abide by. So we could offset from, so I think what's going on if we look here is it's offsetting, this is like the X and the Y. It's offsetting 10 pixels down and 50 pixels across. So we could maybe try 50 and 50. And that would probably knock it off of the old polybars territory. It did not, actually. We need to go down a little bit further. So maybe we could try 80. Nope, I did it backwards. So we would want to set this to about 80, and then we could set that to like maybe 30 or something. Wow, we actually even need to move it down a slight bit further. Let's just go the full 100. Okay, perfect. That's a nice notification. It almost even sort of lines up with the gaps. I could fiddle with it a bit more to get it to do that, but I don't really care as much. So let's see what else. So we can set transparency. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll just try and set it to like 50% opacity or something, just as a test, see if that does its thing. Hey, look at that. That is actually pretty transparent. It's actually probably pretty stupid to have it transparent too, but do what you want. Padding between text and separator. That's probably if you send through like 2 notifications. I'm pretty sure there's a way to like, could do like notify, send, and send myself a notification that just says 9 or something. Yeah, you can see here, it's just sort of stacking the notifications, and that separator is, I guess, what the padding in this is changing. So that's cool. For some reason, it did change the background color here, so we might look into changing that. I don't really care too much. Oh, here we go. Frame color, frame width, 0. That's what I wanted. Send me a notification, no border. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot we could change here. I'm gonna see if there's like a background color. Just see all the other places where it shows colors. It looks like what it's doing is it has different colors for different sort of urgency levels. So like low urgency stuff, which was what the Spotify stuff was being printed with this like dark color. What I could go ahead and do is maybe just set that to like 111, super dark. And then we can set the foreground to, I don't know, what the hell is my foreground color in Polybar? FBF1C7, which is just an off-white. I mean, in theory, we could just sort of copy these over to everything. Maybe it could be kind of cool to have different colored notifications, but I don't know what sort of critical notification it's going to be sending me. It's weird enough just to see a notification on my screen. I have almost all notifications turned off. So we'll set the foreground and the background color the same for all of these. Quit out of that, close that, and then what we can go ahead and run is maybe we'll just permanently kill Dunst here, and then let's go into the config for BSPWM, and we'll go ahead and have Dunst run on startup. It's Super Alt R to reload BSPWM, and it went ahead and reset the wallpaper for us. Very inconsiderate. No, I'm just kidding. That's how I have it set up to run. And what the heck, I'll save myself some time in editing here and just go ahead and zoom in. Let's see here. Send myself a notification. Look at that one. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Maybe we could go ahead and open up a terminal here, and I'll do the notify send. Send myself a message. It says, I'm lazy. Fix it. Fix it. Skip a song. Get a Spotify notification. Got another notification. How about another one? It says sub to the Linux cast. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting notifications. Like I said, if you want a more detailed video about Dunst, I need to resize my screen recording, and then I can show you where to find it. It's also a card. This right here, how to theme Dunst notifications from the Linux cast. Great YouTube channel. I'm sure it's a great video. I will watch it right after this, and if it's terrible, I won't link it, but I know it'll be good. Congrats on 6,500 subscribers, man. Great work, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.